I'm here with the new LSU president, William Tate. Hi, President Tate. How are you today? How are you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. So while we had an unusual beginning to the semester, how has your start at LSU been so far?
I've enjoyed it. I've been around the state, observing the various campuses in the LSU system, and obviously working with people here in Baton Rouge to make sure things go well this semester. So it's been a good start.
Oh, good. I love to hear that. So was this your first experience with a hurricane?
It was.
It was? So walk me through your first response when hearing that a major hurricane was coming to the Gulf Coast about over a week ago. So is there anything you plan to do better or differently with the next storm?
I thought the team did an excellent job, quite frankly. Many of the students responded by going home because they're veterans of these hurricanes, and also I'm sure they wanted to support their families. And then the team here on campus, I think, was excellent in terms of making sure that the dorms and the residence halls were taken care of. Food was available on a regular basis. Our EOC team, I thought, was excellent. The police department did a great job. If I were going to do anything differently, I probably would have flown my wife out of here, to be quite frank, because it was a Category 4.
Right.
I needed to stay. She didn't, but she really wanted to and wanted to be here for students as well. So I don't know if I would do anything different. I think it all worked out really well, and we were very fortunate here in Baton Rouge,
Right.
but unfortunately, as you know, in the southern part of the state, it was not so good.
Right, you're right. So I'm sure you know about the incident that occurred in the Spruce Hall parking lot just a week ago. The wanted suspects have not been found yet. So what is LSU doing about this for student safety? And do you know what LSU PD is doing to prevent this from happening again?
Well, I don't know if you can prevent crime.
You're right.
But I do know that they did an excellent job of identifying the suspects, securing potential people who could make sure they were apprehended, and executing that plan very well. It's not complete yet. So I'm really thankful for what the police department has done thus far, because also removing criminals is really one way you can prevent crime from happening. I do want to double down on people being safe, taking precautions. We are in an urban environment. Make sure you know your surroundings. Always have people with you when you can. And, just be cautious and be really observant. I think that's extremely important to do anytime you're on campus. But I feel as though the police department has done a great job so far in making sure we're safe by taking those folks off the streets.
Yes, yeah. So before we run out of time, I wanted to address another hot topic on campus, the vaccine mandate. So do you know if LSU's mandate has increased the vaccination rate of students and faculty yet? And did the storm affect the deadline of the first dose requirement this week?
Well, I don't know, because I'm a social scientist, what I can attribute increased vaccinations to. I do know that more students were vaccinated, and it may have been because they just decided to do it once they got here and understood the circumstances in which they're in. I think we're with 83% reported. We're still over 80+% of the students are vaccinated, which is quite high when you juxtapose it to the surrounding community. For that, I'm extremely thankful. I do believe we have a few more students who could take advantage of it or take advantage of being tested on a regular basis so that we can keep the community safe. And that's really what I would say. It's interesting we call it a mandate. The reality is in Louisiana, there are no mandates for vaccination. People have choices. They can choose to be vaccinated. They can choose to be part of the testing protocol. I've been really clear as epidemiologist. I think you should choose the vaccination, but people do have a choice.
Right.
And if you can attend LSU with either of those conditions being in place, but I do believe the vaccination is the appropriate way.
Okay. So do you think the storm will affect the deadline of it, the first dose?
Well, what's going to happen is we're going to send reminders out to students to make sure they have fulfilled, number one, the entry requirement, and number two, that they're taking advantage or being part of the testing regime if they're supposed to be in it. I know some students were notified today, and I think that's going to be the key. If you get a notification to read your email because it's extremely important. Okay. I know you don't normally do it. Students don't. They blow off emails, but we're sending you information around our COVID protocols that are specific to you. You've got to read your email when you get it from us.
Okay, so read your email, students. So this weekend, our last question, wrapping up. So this weekend is your first game day as an LSU Tiger president. So what do you expect?
Well, I was at UCLA.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Well,
Second game day, first home game.
Your first home game. You're
Yes.
right. So how, in terms of like 100% capacity of Tiger Stadium, welcoming back tailgating this year, so what do you expect from this game day? And do you expect the Tiger win?
I expect the Tiger win every time we play.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I expect? I mean, well, we're going to have some new protocols in the stadium with respect to vaccination and or testing. I think it's going to be fascinating to see those implemented. We're the only school in the SEC with those protocols, and I think they're the appropriate ones for our stadium and for our community where we are with COVID. I look forward to seeing how they're implemented because there are going to be some lessons learned, I think, for the nation if we implement those in an appropriate way.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sitting down with us at Tiger TV. We appreciate your time so much.